Hello and welcome to the 2020 Porsche 911 Carrera 4. You're looking at the infotainment system right now. So this is a 10.9-inch infotainment touchscreen. This is the most technologically advanced 911 that we've ever had. There's a lot more technology in here than we're used to in the 911 sports car. So let's take a look and see what we have here. So the screen you're looking at right now is the base home screen that starts up as soon as you start the car up. One of the cool things I like about this screen is the customization of it. So if you go up into this little 3 tabs up here, you can configure your home. So this gives some preset layouts, but if you don't like those, you can actually just pick that up, just drag one of the tiles into the trash. So you say you don't want the call there, so you instead want to be able to customize your sound. Drag that guy right there, and boom, confirm that, and then bang, there is your layout. Pretty simple and easy to do. I like the fact that you can completely customize it to your heart's content. So the main navigation system through this infotainment system is on the left side here. All of the little presets are listed along this little tab on the side. So let's just start from the top and go to the bottom. First we have nav. So this car it's a full navigation system, full widescreen map there. It's pretty easy to find stuff. Use the search function. You can pretty much search whatever. You can see the little Google logo in the top there. So you have the world at your disposal there. Next down we'll go media. So turn the sound off there. Don't need to listen to Ed Sheeran right now. But yeah, so this is where you access pretty much any of your media, whether it be Sirius, FM radio, AM, and the way you change it is actually kind of annoying. You got to go up into that little tab there, and then you can search through and find FM, online, Bluetooth, whichever you have connected at the moment. Let's go through there. All right. Next we have phone. This one's pretty simple. Right now we have Apple CarPlay connected, so we're not going to get the actual phone number here. But if we were just connected via Bluetooth, then yes, we would just get a little phone logo and have the ability to dial a number. The next one that we're looking at here, car. So this is where you can do all of your customization, and this car has a lot of it. You can see all the modes right there: wet, normal, sport, sport plus, and individual. So, and down here you have some additional modes as well. So you can extend the spoiler while you're just sitting here. It's a pretty cool little graphic there. You can put the sport exhaust system on. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear the exhaust in here, but it all of a sudden just got a bit bassier and louder. Pretty good sound from that flat 6. And you can also turn the start-stop system off and on. And the last little customization here, chassis, normal, sport. So what you can actually do here is you can enable some of these and then hold the individual key, and then that will save it as to your individual settings, and every time you switch it into individual mode, it will go right to there. However, you have some more things over here. So let's see what else we have. Control trip. So this is where you can see all of your fuel economy data. So this drive so far, just been chilling in my driveway, so drove it around the block to cool it off because it's pretty hot. But yep, 19 minutes, haven't gone anywhere, 5 miles per gallon. So you got a whole lot of data through here. And then you also have your Sport Chrono package here. So this has the Sport Chrono package, and you can see the little timer up there. This is where you could go to start timing your laps in there in the car setting. So yeah, let's keep rolling down through here. Climate. So this is one of the most impressive climate touchscreen settings that I've seen, actually. There's a ton of stuff to control through here. One thing that I like, you can actually change the temperature of the footwell independent from other things. So if you get feet that get a bit warm, just throw cooler on, and boom, the footwell temperature is automatically going to be colder than everything else. I think that's a pretty awesome feature, especially, you know, if you're on the track doing some spirited driving you get warm down there. So you can change the actual intensity of the air blowing at you, strong, regular, soft. So we're at regular right now, don't need anything else. And then you have your typical climates, you know, up, down, to your feet. But on top of that, Porsche does indeed include hard buttons here. So you can see this little glossy black climate controls here. The sun is actually, this is a good example of what the sun can do to this, you know, otherwise nice looking area here. It can be a little tough to read at times. So you got your cooled seats, heated seats, and you can adjust the actual climate control temperature through this little guy here. Push it, very nicely damped, feels great. You can turn auto climate control on. These are all sort of touch capacitive, but you do press them and you feel an actual click with your finger. So it's a nice haptic feedback that you get there. So I suppose I should also mention for the audio, there's your volume button, and then here's a little tuning button as well you can use to move around on the screen in case you didn't like using the actual touch screen, but it's kind of far off. It's not the easiest to use navigator. So the next tab we have here is apps. This is where you can find a lot of stuff that you don't typically use unless maybe you're going on a road trip or something of that matter. You need to find a gas station, and for some reason, either your phone or your passenger's phone isn't working. Suppose you can use the car for it. Another nice new feature, Apple CarPlay. However, the integration I am not in love with. My main issue with this actually is how tiny the little buttons are. So just for some perspective here, here's my hand on the screen, and there's the actual buttons themselves. These are the tiniest Apple CarPlay icons and buttons I have ever seen in any car on the side. Actually, when you're trying to roll through here and like press these buttons while you're driving, it's actually really difficult. I always miss. Not the greatest. You also, it has this little arrow here to extend the full screen, but nothing there. You cannot extend it all the way across the screen. Instead, you can switch up what you get on the far side, which is cool. If you want to be able to see what song you're playing and have Waze running or Google Maps at the same time. You can adjust some other stuff, without actually leaving Apple CarPlay, which is a good feature to have. Moving on from Apple CarPlay, we have the couple driver assist systems in this car. There are not many, but this is where you change them. You can have more. You can get adaptive cruise, you can get lane keeping, but as is, not great. And let's look at the backup camera now too, actually, because I'm actually not a huge fan of this thing. It is like a super wide angle cam. So I was actually having an issue pulling in and out of a parking spot the other day, and the angle was so wide that it was just like nearly impossible to tell like where I was actually putting the rear of the vehicle. So it's just a small complaint. Maybe make that a little less wide angle. You can also adjust your sound. So it's a very nice Bose sound system. It's the second of 3 sound systems. There's a standard, this Bose, and then at Bowers & Wilkins it's even more expensive. But you can get surround sound, linear sound, change a whole bunch of things through here. These are just your navigation announcement sounds, but you could put it towards the back if you have, for some reason, 2 passengers back there. Very likely you won't. Yeah, for the most part, the last one here, settings, and this is where you find the massive trove of settings where you can mess with, the vehicle, lighting, seats, and all that. So that does it for the 10.9-inch touchscreen, but there is another part of this with the new 911. They've gone from a mostly analog gauge cluster to lots of digital screens. So you still have your normal physical tach right in here. It has a digital speedo, but off to your left and off to your right are both screens, and they are customizable at that. So the right one is filled with the most amount of information. You use this little toggle right here to move it up and down to change what is on that screen. So the base one here, you can see all your temperatures and your turbo boost. Yep. Oh, actually turn the car right on off there. Start stop is on. So, yep, you got your trip information. You're gonna have a map, a huge map here. It's a bit redundant if you're running it on the actual infotainment screen, but if you want to throw your music up there, you can also have a nice big map here. This actually gives you an idea of how large this screen is, and that it is in fact one screen and not multiple gauges like it might have you believe. You also have your sport chrono. You can start it there if you so desire. G-force readings, of course. This is the Carrera 4, so yes, you do have your distribution between your front and your rear wheels. And then tire pressure information. And then finally you get your modes, which are adjustable via this little guy right here, drive mode switcher. So you do that, throw Sport Plus, Sport, Normal, and of course wet mode. It's been raining as of late, so I've been using wet mode out here. And then the other screen over there, you switch to that by this little guy right here, the little arrows. You can switch your controls from there to over here. And then you can use the same scroll wheel on the steering wheel. This has a lot less functionality, so here you have your speed limit. Here you have nothing, you can just make it blank. Then you can also have your current position. So if you were on a marked road, which I am currently not, it would show what the marked road is. And that is about it for the tech in the 2020 911 Carrera. Pretty good stuff.